Alright guys, so I did say I wanted to do a video before the end of Season 1. You know, things are gonna end, we're moving on to Season 2, and people are making videos, farming views, and I feel like I gotta get in on that somehow, and I actually asked a couple days ago, I made a poll asking what you guys would like to see. It was like top 5 video, like my personal top 5 agents, some kind of gameplay clip compilation, and R2 lore. Out of those, pretty much very easily the top 5 won. Obviously it's what you clicked on this video for, but I figured the top one, everyone knows it's Harumasa. I don't think I have to specify or talk about it's obviously Harumasa. So because of that, I've decided I'm going to do a top 6, just honorary 6th member of the top 5, just to, you know, make the actually kind of reveal 5 characters here. But anyhow, actually I should probably preface everything by saying that this ranking is not based on like strength or viability as a DPS or support or anything. This list is entirely just my favorite characters, be it in character design, like visual design, or their character's personality, or gameplay, or lore, or literally anything that could possibly make me like the character. They will be ranked based on that, so it is not just like top 5 agents and it's like Miyabi, Yanagi. No, it's not. That's not what it's gonna be. Anyway, speaking of Yanagi, she is number 6. My 6th favorite character in Zenless is actually Tsukushiro Yanagi. I know this might come as a shock to a lot of people, like, what? This guy, he hates Yanagi, and that is partially true. I do shit on Yanagi a lot. I think it's very funny to do so, but this character is actually kind of cool. I'm not the biggest fan of Yanagi's gameplay. I think the gameplay is a little bit stale. It's kind of just normal attacking a lot, doing setups, and then eventually cashing out, but neither the setting up part or the cash out part for gameplay is particularly interesting. However, while I'm not the biggest fan of her gameplay, I think the character's actually really cool. Way back in like 1.1 or something, when we saw Yanagi's design, it's like an NPC. I didn't really like it. It's simple, but it works. You know, all the Section 6 members are like this like special task force, kind of. Not exactly, but that's just kind of how they work. They're like a higher up a branch in the like the Eridu system, like than the police. You can kind of call them like a special force, but anyway, I think Yanagi is really cool. I really like her design. I think the tie she has with Oni lore is actually kind of interesting as well. But the main thing that I actually like about Yanagi is that she uses a Naginata, which I guess might be why her name is Yanagi, but if you don't know what a Naginata is, it's basically, imagine a katana with a stick at the end. It's just a spear with a sword. It's very cool. I think the Naginata combat is actually really cool, even though she doesn't really show that well in her gameplay animations. She's still really cool. I enjoy the gameplay, I enjoy the lore. I think her like abilities with like the time dilation is actually really sick as well. So overall, I really like this character for sure. Even if her gameplay is not my absolute favorite, her character design, actual personality, or everything and all that, I actually quite like Yanagi. So yeah, she makes number 6 on this list. I'm moving on to number 5. It's actually Lighter. No last name, just Lighter. You know, Lighter, Sons of Caledon, he's the champion, or both. He used to be one of 2 champions, now he's only the only champion. But basically, that is kind of why I like him, his lore. He has some lore tied to Billy, as you know, Billy was also like one of the champions of Caledon. And I really enjoy the lore aspect of a lot of these characters, and Lighter not only is a really badass character with this like fighting background, an overall pretty cool design. I like his glasses, his hair is actually kind of nice. Obviously the scarf. The iconic red scarf, even though it does belong to Billy, or it used to, it now belongs to Lighter. Very iconic look that he's got going on. His gameplay is actually really cool. He's got like kind of mix-ups, quote-unquote, with the different EXs he can use, different skips to his like basic attack string, and in general managing his morale buff. I think his gameplay is really cool. It's probably my favorite starter to play. I'm not sure. I like Lycon a little bit more, but Lighter is incredibly fun to play. Really cool character. He's got lore ties that not only tie him to Sons of Caledon, of course, but also to Cunning Hairs indirectly with Billy. And just seeing that across the game is really cool. So yeah, Lighter makes 5th. Awesome character, incredibly fucking strong. He's just all around cool. Alright, now number 4 is actually Nicole Damara, the leader of the Cunning Hairs. Nicole is kind of funny. She's like this random con artist of sorts, a scammer. I'm not really sure what exactly to call her, hollow raider, whatever. Kind of everything that's illegal. But she just happened to pick up Billy and Ambi as like her, like I guess Neko too, but Neko doesn't have anything special going on at all. But I mean, you know, the original trio was like Billy and Ambi, and those two are kind of menaces, both of them. But Nicole's kind of picking them up like from like a black market sale essentially is pretty funny. She's like very goofy leader that isn't particularly the most capable when it looks like combat or expertise or any of that, but she is very cunning, you know, as the name suggests, the cunning hairs. She doesn't know the ins and outs of like, you know, the basics that you would need. She also does have some, she has like a past of scamming Miyabi out of her sword, which is how we get like her having contact with Section 6, which you see in, what, the 1.4 story? Or was it 1.5? That was 1.4, I think. So that's really cool. I mean, Nicole in general, the Cunning Hairs just have like a whole connection to a bunch of other factions. And one of my favorite things, and not just like Zenless, but in fiction in general, is just that world building is a very good way to have people actually be invested into your story and general universe. And Zenless does that pretty well. A really good way to build your world is to have different characters from like different actions or whatever actually interact with characters outside of their general range, and the Cunning Hairs have interacted with like some Calydon, Section 6, Victoria Housekeeping in some ways. Like, they're basically this like link to all the other factions, and it just works out so well. And Nicole, as leader, that also gets extra points. But also in general, I just think she's cute. I mean, the whole like stereotype of like girl failure boss, I think is really funny. Really nice design. I think the black and white on the outfit contrasts the pink hair really well. So definitely one of my favorite designs in that matter. And she's also incredibly fucking broken. I mean, best support in the game. Incredible unit. So yeah, that is my fourth favorite character. Alright, now we move to the top 3. This one's probably pretty obvious. You knew he was going to be in here somewhere, just not exactly where. At number 3, we have Von Lycan. Von Lycan. Von Lycan makes third. A lot of it just being that I think he's really fucking cool. Lycan has some cool lore going on. There's like background with Mockingbird / Hugo. I actually still haven't done the 1.7 story, so I'm not like fully caught up with that, but in general, like I mentioned earlier, the whole world building thing, that does apply here as well. Victoria Housekeeping with Lycan having a link to Mockingbird, and all the lore it ties, and that is just really sick. Also, Lycan's fighting style is probably my favorite fighting style in the game, with the exception of Harumasa. I just think kicks, like a melee fighter that isn't just punches but kicks, is incredibly sick. Sometimes like if you just like slow down through Lycan's animations and you like see like each individual kick that he does, it's just incredibly cool. Some of the stances he hits are insane. This guy is aura farming literally all the time. He's like standing on top of buildings, just stands up. In between chains, he does like the squat with his arms behind his back. Like, Lycan is the #1 aura farmer in all of Zenless. I don't care who you think it is. It's not Miyabi, it's not Ishwe, it is Lycan. It's not really close either. This guy is always aura farming, arms always behind back. This guy is an absolute menace. Also, his design is really appealing. I mean, the whole black and white with the red on like the, I'm not sure what that is, a bow, a scarf. He got like some red mantle, like under his neck. It's just such a good visual. It's such a good aesthetic. The red is just like, because you can make a nice design with like black and white. Nicole has this as well. But you need that one strong contrast in color somewhere to really make it pop. In Nicole's case, it's hair, and with Lycan, it's like that scarf thing he has, and it just works so nicely. So yeah, Lycan, incredibly cool character. Most of the reason I like him is just because, again, I love the kicks. The aura farmer. And yeah, he's incredibly fun to play. Also, he's fucking broken. So yeah, that's third. You knew he was gonna be here somewhere? There he is. Lycan is third. Alright, second. My second favorite character in Zenless Zone Zero. You probably knew, if you've been a long time watcher, he was definitely gonna be in here somewhere. Billy Kid of the Cunning Hairs. This guy used to be my favorite character until Harumasa came out, but not anymore. Still though, I absolutely love Billy. He's incredibly funny and entertaining. The lore of his background, we still don't know everything. There's a lot of things about Billy we don't know about the past, but we have some like general hints and some like little references with like Lighter, or just in general if you do some of Billy's hangouts. He had I don't know if he still has it, but he had this like quest in Hollow Zero where some like bandits or whatever recognize them and they're like, oh shit, run. So we know Billy is like cracked. This guy is fucking overpowered in lore, but we just haven't really seen him try. We hear Lighter say that Billy's just kind of retired, kind of chilling with the cunning airs, but perhaps in the future we get to see more of Billy's past, hear more about him, see what he's actually capable of doing if he's locked in. Also, his design is really cool. I love the jacket, the guns. I'm not really like a guns person generally, but Billy makes it work so nicely. And his like, he is both really badass and really goofy at the same time, and somehow it's just the perfect balance to where he makes for an incredibly appealing character that is also cool as fuck. And also, the main reason that he was my favorite character at the beginning was his actual playstyle. I don't play Billy as much as I used to, not at all, but he is definitely one of my favorite characters to play. His playstyle, you know, the dodge counter agent, he has so much movement that he's got going on with like the dash attacks, the rolling shots, obviously the dodge counters. He also has animation cancels on like so many different things. He has like animation cancels with neutral dash, which again, only him and Nicole have neutral dashes. He has the animation cancel with like regular special, EX special, and he has like all these different things. He is one of the most mechanical characters this game has to offer in terms of the things you can do, although unfortunately none of those things are like actually going to push his damage, or kind of just style points. But with that being said, Billy is incredibly cool, one of my favorite units. This ultimate is so satisfying, literally the strongest ultimate in the game, or it's up there. You rip Billy ult, it's fairly slow, but you just see the health bar on the enemy plummet when you use it. It's so satisfying. So yeah, Billy is second. Incredibly cool character. I hope we get to see more of his in the future. Alright, everybody knew this was coming. It's obvious, I mentioned at the beginning. Number 1 is Asaba Harumasa. Wow, really? Insane. Yes, Harumasa is my favorite character. I don't think this is a surprise to anybody at all. I'm pretty much famous for how much I like Harumasa at this point, in the Zenless community at least. Harumasa, not only due to his gameplay, I just think he's such a cool character. Harumasa is a character that resonates with me on a personal level as well. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you a bit of a small R2 lore, just a little bit. I am not like a super slacker or anything. I do, you know, get my things done when it's important. But there are certain cases where I just, like, cannot be asked. When I used to go to college in Malta, like, I would show up to class, and obviously, but I wasn't exactly, like, paying attention. I mean, I was just kind of there, chilling. I was just not happy. My energy levels were so bad during college. I had, like, the worst sleep schedule ever. I was falling asleep at, like, the worst times. It was not great. But whenever there was a test or an assignment, and that I like actually, you know, would work on, bro, I would ace that shit. Listen, I may not always be working at top performance constantly, which you might be seen by my uploads. I still haven't even done anything on the latest Shiyu or anything like that. But hey. While and I still have to do the Hugo video, but see, while my things may come delayed, sometimes when I work well. I lock in. But, you know, Harumasa resonates with me on a personal level. I love his character. It reminds me a little bit of me. I mean, his personality isn't a one-to-one of me at all, but there are some things that resonate with me, like I already mentioned a billion times. I love his design. He's got, kind of like Yanagi, just this basic office attire with extra details, but the extra details are so nice to look at. I love the headband as well, the hair. But my favorite part of his like visual design, the aesthetic, is his bow. This bow is made up of like 2 blades, and the blades are designed in this way, where one of them has this like handle almost that like bends a little bit, and the other blade's a little bit shorter, and these combine together, he clicks them together to make his bow. And it's just such a cool weapon. I love characters that use multiple weapons. My favorite character in Genshin Impact is Tertalia, for the same reason, basically, that I just love characters that use multiple weapons, and Child has like this entire fucking arsenal of like spears and swords and blades and obviously the bow. So seeing that with Harumasa again is really cool. I love archers as well. Archers that don't just shoot but also do other things on top of it. It's just some of my favorite tropes in like anything in all media. And Harumasa not only uses his bow pretty like effectively, like he does quick shots and that's it. But he also transitions the archer playstyle into this like fast slashing gameplay. He does like these flips on EX. He has so many cool animations. This guy is by far my favorite combat animations in the game. Since he was like leaked in before 1.4 came out, I was like, holy shit, I need this guy. His lore is also pretty cool. It doesn't have anything like super crazy going on, like I guess Billy does, or even like Yanagi. Like his lore may not be that deep, but his agent story was incredibly good. I had a lot of fun just going through it, and some of the emotional moments do hit. Like I really like how they handled Haramasa. Absolutely, I love this guy from the gameplay level, from the design perspective. As a character, I fucking adore him. He's hilarious. And yeah, there is no character in this game that has pushed me to understand the mechanics of not just attack characters, but also anomaly characters, like Harumasa has. Like, Harumasa is his attack agent that, because of him, I learned to, like, understand the intricacies of anomaly because of, like, how his kit works with, like, his additional ability gives him more damage when you have an anomaly, and the quiver spawn anomaly. And to optimize that, I took a different route from most people. Like, most people that play Haru, they give him a stun team with Chingy, or, like, Trigger or something, and they ball. I went a completely different direction. I wanted to see how the anomaly teams could be pushed. I mean, that's what I'm known for at this point. I'm the Grace Haru guy, for the most part. Been meddling with a bit of Yanagi in the past, or recently. But yeah, no, because of that, because I was messing with, like, how to play Haru with an anomaly character, even if it wasn't optimal, I didn't care. I wanted to see how it would work. And I ended up with this team that had, like, it taught me things about arena, taught me things about, obviously, just general crit mechanics, and it taught me so many things about how anomalies work, how disorders work, all the bullshit, how build-up is calculated, how the illusion, like, I learned so many things from this just random attack unit, because he can play with anomaly units, and that just made me, like, a much better player in general, just from looking into his kit and wanting to experiment with things. Absolutely love this guy. I ended up, like, again, from this, like, journey of just figuring out Haru with Anomaly, I ended up with a team that is absurdly difficult mechanically to play perfectly. There's, like, so many little things that you won't see or you won't understand if you don't know the context in a run with Grace Arena Haru that I have to keep doing to, like, play it at max performance, and it is so incredibly fun and so satisfying to get it every time. I absolutely love this guy. The stun teams are fun, his anomaly teams are even more fun in my opinion, and just in general, beautiful animations, beautiful character, awesome. He was #1, everybody knew this. There's your Harumasa rant. Yeah, that'll be it from me. That is my top 5 plus 1, because Haru was obviously going to be first, so I added a little extra with the 6th favorite characters. We will see if this changes perhaps in Season 2, when we get all the Chinese characters. We will see if anything changes, maybe my top 5 gets shaken up a little bit, some stuff might change, we will see. And yeah, I promise I'm working on the Hugo video, that'll happen eventually, maybe before 2.0, I hope. Listen, I'm trying. Thank you guys for watching, see ya.